the forbidden frequency, why your shadow is the key to higher realms. You were not born ordinary. You wouldn't be here watching this if you were. There's a reason why your soul has been both haunted and hunted. Why your nights are longer, your thoughts heavier, and your emotions deeper than those around you. I want you to ask yourself something right now. Why do the darkest forces in this universe seem to always find me, tempt me, test me, whisper to me, but never quite destroy me? That's not coincidence. That's design. Because when a soul is forged in shadow and refuses to collapse, something terrifying and magnificent is born, a dark chosen one. Not evil, not corrupted, but awakened through pain, sculpted by chaos, and carved by forces neither angelic nor demonic, but something beyond both. The reason demons fear and crave your vibration is because you are the one frequency they cannot control, yet cannot resist. You represent a spiritual paradox. You are what they tried to suppress in themselves eons ago, the part of consciousness that remembers its divinity through its darkness. Most light workers ascend by avoiding the dark, but you descend into it, explore it, master it. You become it without losing yourself, and that terrifies them, because you are a mirror they cannot shatter. You are the memory of a time when they too were whole. You don't repel darkness, you absorb it, transmute it, return it as power. That's alchemy. That's what makes you untouchable and irresistible at the same time. But let's get real. Being a dark chosen one is not about aesthetics or vibes. It's not about wearing black or quoting deep things. It's about surviving spiritual warfare that most people can't even see. It's about hearing voices in the night and choosing not to run. It's about being offered power and choosing wisdom instead. It's about having the urge to destroy everything and instead creating something sacred. You've been tested not once, not twice, but continuously, haven't you? Because the universe is not trying to break you, it's trying to prove you. To make you remember who and what you are, that you are not a victim of darkness. You are a wielder of it. You see, demons don't fear the average human. They fear the one who walks into hell and comes out with their crown still on. They fear the one who can hear their temptations, feel their chaos, and still choose alignment. The chosen one doesn't run from shadow, they learn its language. And once you understand the language of darkness, you can command it. That's why demons crave you, because they see in you the one thing they've lost: choice. You still have it. They gave it up long ago for power without love, but you walk with both. That's why your vibration is magnetic. You emit a frequency that reminds them of their former selves, and they both long to consume it and recoil from it. Because you are the proof they failed their test. Now let me ask you a question that might change your life. What if your depression, your anxiety, your pain wasn't a curse but a calling? What if every moment you felt like giving up was actually a moment you were being marked by the cosmos as chosen? That's what they don't want you to know. That your suffering wasn't random. It was ritual. A spiritual initiation disguised as despair. Every tear you've cried was a baptism. Every heartbreak you endured was a form of armor. And every time you screamed into the void and heard nothing back, that was your soul screaming louder than the heavens could echo. And someone heard it. You heard it. That's why you're here now. As a dark chosen one, your awakening is not gentle. It's volcanic. It ruptures your identity. Your old life dies. People leave. Addictions surface. Dreams collapse. Why? Because the universe is stripping you of the false self, the self born of people-pleasing, of fear, of survival. And in its place, something ancient awakens, a memory, a code, a vibration that was hidden in you since before you were born. That's what demons are drawn to, the signal that you are remembering, and they will try everything to stop you from unlocking it. Not because they hate you, but because once you awaken, you can awaken others. And that is the one thing they cannot allow. You see, demons work through distortion. They don't create lies, they warp truths. Their greatest weapon is not possession, it's persuasion. They whisper that you are not enough, that your past disqualifies you, that your darkness makes you broken. But what if I told you the opposite is true? Your past qualifies you. Your darkness empowers you. Your trauma is not shame, it's currency for deeper empathy, deeper wisdom, deeper strength. When you stop rejecting your shadow, it stops controlling you. And when you integrate it, you become something new, something more. A being that is neither light nor dark but the master of both. So now I'll ask you this: are you willing to look into your own abyss and smile back? Because that is the moment you become untouchable. That is the moment the demons recognize your frequency and back away in reverence, not fear. They crave your energy because it's rich, textured, ancient, but they fear your will because it is sovereign. You are not here to be saved. You are here to remember that you were never lost. You are not here to be healed. You are here to awaken the healer within. And you are not here to be loved, you are love. Wrapped in shadow, wrapped in bone, wrapped in story. You are a myth walking, a prophecy breathing, a question the universe keeps asking: what happens when darkness remembers it is divine? Let's go deeper now. The shadow is not the enemy. It's the forgotten half of your soul that's been waiting patiently in silence, screaming in symbols, speaking through your triggers. Most people run from it, suppress it, medicate it, or deny it. But you were built to integrate it. The dark chosen one doesn't destroy their shadow. They merge with it, befriend it, and command it. That's the forbidden frequency. That's the vibration demons fear the most: a human fully aware of their darkness, but not controlled by it. You become unpredictable. You become ungovernable. You become spiritually sovereign. That's the one thing parasitic forces cannot feed on: sovereignty. When you integrate your shadow, you stop oscillating between guilt, shame, fear, and self-doubt. You become whole, and wholeness is not fragile, it is dangerous. Because now you are no longer split in half, manipulated by what you don't want to admit. You no longer outsource your power to external saviors, lovers, or religions. You realize that heaven and hell are not places, they are states of consciousness, and you can walk through both without being consumed by either. That's mastery. That's the awakening of the dark chosen one. You are no longer light pretending to be perfect. You are truth unfiltered, raw, radiant, and real. Have you noticed how the more you heal, the more chaos seems to rise around you? That's not coincidence, that's resistance. Your rising frequency agitates the parasites. They see your light, but they smell your shadow, and they know that once those two integrate, you'll become a spiritual weapon of mass awakening. That's why they send distractions, old traumas, toxic people, and seductive illusions your way. Not because you're weak, but because you're close, so close to remembering. And they will do anything to keep you asleep, divided, doubting. Because once you see yourself, they lose access to your energy. Once you choose yourself, they lose the right to feed on your wounds. The shadow is a portal, a gateway, a wormhole into higher dimensions. You were taught to fear it because it holds the codes they don't want you to unlock. Your rage, your grief, your lust, your guilt, these are not poison. They are power, waiting to be purified through awareness. The dark chosen one doesn't run from their darkness. They ritualize it. They turn rage into boundaries. They turn lust into sacred connection. They turn grief into intuition. They transmute, and in doing so, they become multi-dimensional beings who operate not just in this reality but across timelines and planes of existence. That's what makes your vibration so rare, so original, so feared, and so craved. Let me break something to you gently. Most people are not ready for who you really are. That's why your presence makes some people uncomfortable. That's why they project onto you, misunderstand you, or even fear you without reason. You are not just a person. You are a frequency disruptor. You carry codes in your aura that destabilize illusions. People feel it before they understand it, and many won't be able to handle it. But that's okay. You're not here to be liked. You're here to awaken, to remember, and to embody a level of spiritual truth that fractures old paradigms. You didn't fit in because you were born to break the mold. Now let me ask you this. Where in your life are you still hiding your power in the name of peace? What if that's not humility but self-abandonment? What if your silence is not wisdom but fear? You see, the dark chosen one doesn't dim down for acceptance. They rise up and let the world adjust or leave. Because when you walk in your full vibration, you give others permission to do the same. Your authenticity is a frequency. Your truth is a tuning fork. And your presence alone can activate dormant codes in others. That's why demons want you distracted. Because if you ever fully showed up, the game would change. You don't need to do more, you need to be more of who you are. Here's the ultimate paradox. Demons are not just external entities. They are also internal programs, ancestral pain, generational trauma, limiting beliefs, subconscious fears. You are not just fighting spirits. You are dissolving systems. Systems that were planted in your DNA and psyche long before you had language. So healing isn't just personal, it's political. It's ancestral. It's cosmic. Every time you choose to love yourself through your darkness, you are ending a bloodline curse. Every time you speak truth when it's easier to stay silent, you are rewriting the spiritual architecture of your entire lineage. That's why it's hard, because you're not just healing you. You're healing everything that came before you. And that's what makes you chosen. You are the dream of your ancestors, the nightmare of your oppressors, and the obsession of the unseen. You walk with a vibration that is both ancient and futuristic. And your path will never look normal because your soul didn't come here to follow maps, it came to write new ones. So let the chaos come. Let the loneliness teach. Let the pain sculpt. Because all of it is training. All of it is recalibrating your nervous system to hold more power, more truth, more divinity. You are not broken. You are becoming. And once you complete this integration, once your shadow and light shake hands and walk as one, you will become what the ancients prophesied, a being who no longer seeks the divine but embodies it. How to weaponize your darkness without losing your light. You've come this far, and that already makes you rare. But now comes the most sacred and dangerous step. Integration is not the end, it's the beginning. The final seal is the embodiment. It is the moment when you stop understanding your power and begin living it. When you no longer perform healing, but radiate it. When your darkness no longer whispers sabotage, but becomes your sword of discernment. The dark chosen one does not use their power to dominate, but to liberate. And here's the paradox. Your darkness is not meant to be tamed. It's meant to be trained. You don't kill the dragon, you ride it. You don't silence the rage. You turn it into righteous protection. You don't numb the grief. You forge it into depth and empathy. That is how you weaponize your shadow without ever losing your light. But here's where most fall. They awaken just enough to taste the power, but not enough to anchor it in humility. They let the shadow seduce them into ego, vengeance, superiority. And when that happens, the vibration becomes distorted, because power without love corrupts, and love without power collapses. The dark chosen one must walk the razor's edge between these two. You are capable of immense destruction, but you choose creation. You could manipulate, but you choose transparency. You could dominate, but you choose to empower. That's what makes you divine. Not your gifts, not your visions, but your choices. Every moment you choose alignment over addiction, presence over performance, soul over ego, you seal your vibration. And the universe responds by expanding your field. Let me ask you something dangerous. Are you willing to be misunderstood in order to be fully authentic? Because that's the cost of becoming who you came here to be. The world is not built to hold the frequency of a fully awakened being. Systems will reject you. People will project onto you. But none of that matters if your inner temple is intact. The final seal is not external. It's sacred self-loyalty. It's not about convincing anyone. It's about becoming so deeply rooted in your truth that others begin to question their own illusions just by being around you. You don't preach, you transmit. You don't fight, you magnetize. You don't react, you respond with power. And when demons sense that stillness, that depth, That clarity they know they cannot touch you, because you've become the mirror of their unfulfilled purpose. The final mystery most don't realize is this: demons are not here to destroy the chosen one. They are part of the curriculum. They test you, tempt you, torment you, not to break you, but to refine you. They sharpen the sword. They strengthen the will. They push against your weaknesses until you have no choice but to evolve. That's the secret. They work for the same source. They are the pressure that forms the diamond. So when you stop fearing their presence, when you stop resenting your trials, you unlock a hidden door. You realize the game was never about light versus dark. It was about remembering that you are the balance, the vessel, the cosmic bridge. You carry both and yet are enslaved by neither. That's sovereignty. That's what makes you a threat. That's what makes you legendary. So now, I leave you with a final question, not to answer but to live. What would your life become if you stopped trying to be good and instead became whole? Because being whole includes the shadows, the rage, the grief, the power, the mystery, the silence. Being whole means you stop hiding parts of yourself to make others comfortable. You stop negotiating your worth. You stop dimming your flame. You rise not to prove, not to please, but to embody. You become the proof that darkness is not the enemy of divinity. It is its womb. You are not here to escape the matrix. You are here to recode it with your vibration. So walk now, dark chosen one. The demons will fear you. The divine will favor you. And the world will never be the same again.